Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're diving straight into the source material, looking at what's buzzing on X right now, specifically from Daily Vibecasting, July 24, 2025. So the mission today, we're going to quickly unpack, 15 key posts. We want to get past just the headlines, pull out the real insights on tech, culture, world stuff, market moves. I think you'll find some surprising facts, some crucial context that you just don't get from glancing at your feed.
Exactly. And it's not just about knowing what's being talked about. It's about understanding why it matters. We're trying to connect those dots, look at the bigger picture behind these really quick posts, see what trends are underneath it all.
Okay, let's jump right in. We'll start with maybe a lighter cultural moment. This one's from @PopBase on X. They posted, "Happy 36th birthday to the talented Daniel Radcliffe." And there's this great side-by-side picture, young Harry Potter next to him now.
Yeah.
It really shows that transformation, doesn't it? From the biggest child star on the planet to a really versatile actor. Won the Tony last year, right?
Yeah, for Merrily We Roll Along. And what's really interesting is how deliberate he's been, taking on roles. I mean, remember Swiss Army Man? Definitely unconventional.
Oh, yeah.
That was clearly a move to, shake off the Harry Potter typecasting. And it seems like diversifying like that, it really helps actors build career resilience in the long run, keep things going.
Makes sense.
And the timing's kind of interesting, too, with Warner Bros. Just announcing that Harry Potter TV reboot with a whole new cast sort of closes one chapter while he's busy writing the next.
Right. Okay, moving from one huge franchise figure to a massive show at Netflix. Drop this. Wednesday has been officially renewed for Season 3. Season 2 awakens in 2 weeks. The image. Classic Wednesday Addams holding that glowing crystal ball with the 3 outside. But the timing. Renewing it before Season 2 even premieres on August 6th. That feels pretty bold. What's the strategy there?
Oh, it screams confidence. I mean, Wednesday was just enormous for them. Became their most watched English language series, ever, right? Pulled in insane numbers, hundreds of millions of views really fast.
Wow.
And Jenna Ortega's performance was huge, obviously. Plus Tim Burton's whole vibe. It won Emmys, too. And it kind of connects back, doesn't it, to the original Addams Family, where Wednesday got her name from that nursery rhyme. Wednesday's child is full of woe.
Huh.
This reboot just nailed it for a modern audience.
Okay, next one. This one actually made me laugh. Defiant Oles just posted the laughing emoji with this picture critiquing old 1950s school advice. Remember teachers saying, no calculators?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and this post just contrasts this perfectly with how much we rely on our phones, on AI tools now, even for simple math. Makes you think, are we teaching skills for a world that doesn't really exist anymore?
Well, it's a great point about how education has to change with technology. I mean, studies show, something like 78% of students use digital devices for math now. And research suggests just memorizing stuff by rote, it's less effective than actually learning with the technology.
Right.
It's happening globally, too. India's made big shifts towards tech and education. So, yeah, it forces you to ask, are things like complex long division by hand still essential? Or is knowing how to use the tools the real skill now?
Interesting question. Okay, this next one. A bit of a wild moment before disaster story.
Yeah.
At Sea and Violations, posted this picture from a Coldplay concert. Looks like a sweet moment on the Jumbotron, right? Two people hugging.
Uh-oh, where is this going?
Well, turns out it was the CEO of astronomer Andy Byron and his chief people officer, Kristen Cabot. Both reportedly married to other people. And then Chris Martin from Coldplay says on stage, either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Oh, no.
Exactly. The internet just exploded. What does this say about, public moments now?
It just shows how incredibly fast things move online. The identification, the public shaming, it can be instant and pretty brutal. Their identities were out there almost immediately.
Yeah.
And it instantly raises questions about, workplace ethics, the line between public and private. It's so blurry now. Research actually shows these kinds of public exposures can cause real lasting damage to reputations and careers. One study found over 3/4 of people involved suffered long-term impacts.
Wow. It's like constant surveillance almost.
Pretty much, especially at big events. Every second could be captured, analyzed, shared.
All right, let's end this section on another celebrity note, but maybe a more relatable one. Hayat Zakarian posted this clip of Pedro Pascal, where it kind of highlights his known anxiety at public events.
Yeah.
You can almost see him looking for support from a co-star, like at Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that.
It feels very human, doesn't it?
It really does, and it ties into how open he's actually been about his own mental health struggles. He talks about it, quite frankly.
Which is rare.
Exactly. It's such a contrast to that polished, always perfect image a lot of celebrities project. And I think that's why it resonates so much with people. It just makes him seem real, reminds you of the crazy pressure they're under, especially at those big events where every single look is being watched.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's switch gears completely. Moving into tech, innovation. This is pretty cool. Elon Musk shared a video of Optimus, the Tesla robot.
The humanoid one.
Yep, delivering food to a car. And the caption says, "Optimus will bring the food to your car next year." He connected it to the new Tesla Hollywood diner they're planning. Feels very sci-fi. How close is this really?
Well, for specific repetitive tasks, it's getting closer. This fits right into Musk's prediction from a couple years back that Optimus could eventually do certain jobs better than humans.
Right.
And you see studies like from MIT suggesting humanoid robots could cut operational costs maybe by like 20% in places like a diner where tasks are predictable. Yeah. Now, there's still a reliance on humans controlling them remotely for tricky stuff, teleoperation. But yeah, a robot bringing your food, it feels futuristic. Kind of funny to think back to like 1950s diners with roller skating servers.
Haha, true.
Though it's worth remembering, public opinion is still kind of mixed. Surveys show a lot of people are still a bit uneasy about robots taking over service jobs.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, sticking with Musk, let's talk about the AI arms race. At NS123ABC posted this really bold claim. They said, xAI will have more than 2.6x the compute capacity of OpenAI Stargate by the end of the year. Do you?
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a massive claim, right? A direct challenge to OpenAI. Is that even realistic, scaling up that fast?
Yeah.
What does it mean for AI?
It's incredibly ambitious. I mean, Musk's long-term goal is huge, scaling xAI to tens of millions of those advanced AI chips within 5 years. That would seriously challenge the leaders.
But can they do it?
Well, OpenAI's Stargate project with Oracle is already this massive city power level thing. xAI's plan involves using NVIDIA chips from Tesla, plus that huge funding round they got, like $10 billion. But it's not just about buying hardware, right? You need the talent, the infrastructure, the research.
The whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And there's another factor. Those specialized AI chips depreciate fast. Their value drops quickly. So even if you build up massive capacity, you have to manage that cost, keep innovating just to stay ahead. It's a tough race.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, from AI power grids to, rockets. At SpaceX shared a video, simple title, Falcon 9 lands at landing zone 4. And honestly, every single time I see one of these landing.
It never gets old, does it?
Never. It still just blows my mind. The engineering is incredible. It looks like magic. What does this continued success mean for the future of getting to space?
It's just a testament to their reliability, which is astounding. What is it, 476 successful landings out of 489 tries, something great, 97% reliability.
Incredible.
And that reusability, that's the absolute key. They've got boosters that have flown, nearly 30 times now. That just slashes the cost of launching anything. It's not just cool tech. It's what makes space travel actually sustainable, affordable, opens the door for way more missions, commercial stuff, exploration. Everything.
Amazing stuff. All right, let's shift again. Market trends. This one jumped out from @WatcherGuru. Just EN. $305 million liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past 4 hours.
Oof.
Yeah, $305 million. Gone in 4 hours. What causes that kind of sudden, huge wipeout in crypto?
Well, it really highlights the sudden shifts and intense volatility you get in crypto. It's kind of baked in. These big liquidation events usually happen alongside sharp price drops, maybe 5–10% on the major coins.
So what triggered this one?
This time, it seems linked to some broader instability we're seeing this month, July 2025. Partly seems to be regulatory jitters talk of an SEC crackdown on leverage trading, which is basically betting with borrowed money.
Now, sometimes, historically, these big liquidations can actually signal a bottom, like a buying opportunity. You might see prices bounce back 15% or so within a week. But right now, the feeling seems more cautious, mainly because of that regulatory uncertainty hanging over things.
Got it. Okay, one more tech-related item, but this is about a feature on a platform we all know. At Unusual Whales posted that Uber will let women drivers and riders request to avoid being paired with men starting next month, per CNBC. That feels like a pretty big policy change.
It is significant. It actually builds on something Uber tested a few years back in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And it definitely fits into this wider trend we're seeing of platforms offering more gender-specific safety options, especially in ride-sharing.
Have others done this?
Yeah, surveys have shown for years that, a decent chunk of riders, especially women, say they'd prefer a female driver for safety reasons.
Yeah.
I think Lyft has an option that's inclusive of non-binary people, too.
The tricky part, though, is balancing that desire for comfort and safety with the company's own non-discrimination rules. It's a fine line addressing real safety concerns without, unfairly denying service or work based on gender. It's complex.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, let's move into some broader societal issues now.
Yeah.
First, a local story that maybe has wider lessons. At End Wokeness posted about what they called a failed city-funded grocery store trial in Kansas City. The post said, "Shelves are completely empty, food rotten, theft." Pretty grim picture.
Yeah, the details behind that are quite stark. The store, Casey's Sunfresh, seems to have really struggled, even though the city poured in like $750,000. Customer numbers apparently plummeted from maybe 14,000 a week down to 4,000, and they lost almost $900,000 in the first year.
Wow. So what went wrong? Just bad management?
It seems to reflect these broader challenges you see with publicly funded grocery stores sometimes. It's easy to underestimate how tough the grocery business is. Margins are razor thin, competition from big chains is fierce, and then you have local issues, maybe crime, safety concerns, particularly in lower income areas. It shows that just having good intentions isn't enough. You need a really solid, realistic business plan, too.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, next, a post about capitalism. Or maybe how people see it. At Chase Down Leads shared this story. A 10-year-old kid offers to mow his lawn for $20.
Okay.
The poster sees a young entrepreneur, hires a kid to do all 10 houses on the block, pays him $200 total. Fair enough. But then the poster turns around and charges each neighbor $125 for premium lawn care service.
Wait, what? So the poster made?
Over $1,000 profit off the kid's $200 work. And then almost immediately, a Jay Crossley78 replied with that Coming to America meme. Eddie Murphy as Prince Akeem looking all smug and knowing.
Yeah, I know the one.
So what's the commentary here? What does this interaction say about value and labor?
Well, the original poster is framing it very simply as, that's capitalism, labor arbitrage. Finding cheap labor, selling the service high, pocketing the difference, basic business, right?
One perspective.
Exactly. But that meme response, that totally flips the script. It implies a critique, right? It suggests maybe this is exploitative, especially because it involves a kid, and the profit margin is just enormous.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about where that line is between smart business and just taking advantage.
Definitely a conversation starter. Okay, let's touch on something historically sensitive now. At Clown World, posted just, "No, he wasn't," with a link. It was clearly a reply to someone claiming Jesus was a Muslim. This comes up a lot online.
It does, and it's really important to stick to the historical facts here, neutrally. Islam, as a distinct religion, began in the 7th century CE with the Prophet Muhammad. That's about 600 years after Jesus lived. And historical analysis, peer-reviewed studies, evidence like the Dead Sea Scrolls, it all consistently shows Jesus was a first-century Jewish man living within the Judaism of that time before the Romans destroyed the Second Temple.
So where does the Muslim claim come from?
It often comes from a modern theological viewpoint, sometimes influenced by the Islamic perspective, where Jesus, or Isa, is seen as a very important prophet in their tradition, but not divine like in Christianity. So the protest sign this ex-post probably reacted to reflects that reinterpretation, but historically speaking, it just doesn't align with the established timelines or Christian beliefs. It highlights these really deep, complex interfaith discussions.
Okay, got it. And finally, one more post dealing with politics and, conspiracy theories. Liz Churchill 10 shared some footage of Hillary Clinton, claiming, so this was true, implying something sinister was happening. The video shows her needing help, looking unwell. What's the actual story behind that clip?
Right. That footage almost certainly dates back to September 11th, 2016. It was widely reported at the time by, major outlets like the New York Times. She was diagnosed with pneumonia, got dehydrated at the 9/11 memorial event.
So it was a medical issue.
Yes. The video shows her being helped into a van because she was unwell. Reliable sources all confirmed it was a medical emergency. But the footage got picked up, sometimes by political opponents like Rudy Giuliani, and twisted into theories about her being arrested or having some other secret condition.
And those theories persist.
They absolutely do. Things like the Clinton body count idea, these conspiracies stick around and get amplified online, often by political figures or certain media, even when there's zero credible evidence. It really shows how easily health incidents involving public figures can be spun into misinformation and how hard it is to stamp those narratives out once they take root.
Wow. Okay, we covered a lot of ground there. From Daniel Radcliffe growing up and Netflix dominating streaming to funny critiques of old school rules and that awkward Coldplay concert moment.
Yeah, and then into Optimus the robot, the crazy AI compute race, SpaceX sticking those landings, the wild crypto liquidations, and Uber's new safety feature.
Plus, the challenges of city-funded stores, that capitalism lawn mowing debate, and navigating these really complex historical and political claims online.
It really shows how much is packed into just a few posts, doesn't it? And like we said, this wasn't just about seeing the headlines. It was about trying to understand the context, the ripple effects, what's really going on beneath the surface. That's where the real value is, understanding it.
Absolutely. So, maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Given how fast all this stuff flies around on platforms like X, what's our responsibility as people trying to stay informed?
Yeah.
How do we get better at telling fact from fiction, especially when, the line between a birthday post and a global debate gets so blurry? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you on the next one.